Welcome to Florida Men on Florida Man with Josh Mills and Wayne McCarty, the podcast where Floridians discuss the legends and lore and crazy stories that always seem to take place in
Florida.
Florida. We are joined today by model and actress Faith Vaughn, who just recently appeared on Severance Season 2. Faith, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, we're so much better
Awesome.
now that you're on the show. We are
Yeah,
excited to have
it's
you.
exciting for us. I mean, as two, I guess, unpublished male models.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, I've modeled heating blankets,
Uh-huh.
but these are usually equine heating blankets, and they just needed a stand-in. And I don't think it was published. I think it was for a local pervert. But I got paid, so it doesn't matter in the end.
At
But it's
least you
nice to
got
have
your
another.
check.
Yeah, I got my check. It's nice to have another model.
Yeah, freelance. Freelance
mic.
modeling is what Josh does. No,
Mhm.
Faith, we're going to get into that here shortly. We're going to chat about your career and how you got started. But most importantly, you brought some Florida Man headlines with you.
I did. Let me pull them up super duper fast.
Of course. This is the part of our show where we highlight how special Florida is by discussing all the crime that takes place here. So it's actually a lot
You know
of fun.
it's special if it's the new map for GTA
Oh,
in
come
the new
on.
game.
Oh, see that?
That's what I'm talking about. You know.
The first article I found was Florida man attacked by python hiding in toilet, and the reason I picked that is because that is honestly one of my biggest fears.
That's a nightmare. That's a nightmare
100%.
scenario.
I hear
So-
that's why they don't make like dark colored toilets. It's so that you can see if there's like danger in it.
Is that true, Faith, you think?
That would make sense. I grew up in the country, so like it's always kind of just been a fear of mine that there would be a snake lurking in the waters.
Well,
Which is weird.
I
Yeah.
never thought about it until today, so I appreciate that. So what happened here? There's a python in the toilet, and this person were they attacked, or did they just like scarred for life from seeing it?
Oh,
A Coral Springs humane unit was called to the residence around 4 a.m. after the victim attempted to remove a python that was in his toilet.
Oh,
Okay.
mighty.
Oh, it was a
If I may.
3-foot long ball python. That was somebody's pet.
gross. If I may, that may be the I guess best animal. I mean,
He was bitten.
He was
the
bitten?
python, right? Aren't they constrictors?
I think
Don't
naturally.
they want to wrap around something and then?
Well,
So
that's
like
what
if you got if you got nothing going on there, it's got nothing to wrap around. It can just bite you.
Yeah,
you're safe.
I was gonna
Is what
say,
I'm
I
saying.
think in this scenario, the bite's the best case. I think if you just
Thank
get
you. Yep.
if you get like a nibble, then it's like, okay, I can jump up and deal with it. If they start wrapping, you're in big trouble. Now,
But if you're
Faith,
covering the wrap hole, I mean, they can't escape.
right? Now, I was
wrap
gonna.
line.
Now, Faith, you did this research before coming on the show. Have you thought about this a lot since reading that there are pythons in toilets now?
Kind of, but then I remembered that like snakes are not really around in New York, so I think I'm okay. The most thing I have to worry about is like maybe a rat coming out of the toilet.
Gross.
That's a pretty big deal because I feel like my TikTok feed lately has just been like these absurdities from New York, and the rats are the size of small dogs there. Is that true?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
disgusting.
Yeah.
and oftentimes people like make fun of us for living in Florida with prehistoric creatures, but I'm like, dude, there's like lab grown rats up in NYC that could just
No,
like
these are
carry
bigger
you
than lab
away.
grown.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's horrifying.
The rats here carry like insurance and a gun. They don't play.
It's nice to know they're insured, though.
Yeah,
You don't want to be hit by an uninsured rat
that is
because
true.
your premiums go up. It's a whole deal.
It is.
But
It is.
don't rats carry more diseases than snakes? Or am I reading something wrong?
No, you're probably right. Rats are nasty.
I think it's the hair. If something has hair, then it's grosser than something without hair.
That's a great.
Am I wrong?
observation.
But didn't they carry like the plague?
They
Little
literally,
bit.
Yeah. Yeah, literally.
Case
Guy-
closed. We solved it.
Case closed. I can I just say I love how we are like avoiding the trauma of a python in the toilet and being like, hey, at least it wasn't a
Dude.
rat from New York. Am I right? You know what I
He
mean?
was
Like
asking
that's
for it,
a much
probably.
better scenario.
I'm just like hoping he didn't get bit in the butt, or
Yeah.
even worse. Like, you
That's
know?
the best case. Yeah.
No, there's worse outcomes for sure.
You think?
Now,
Now I'm going to ask a personal question. Do you look before you sit?
who you
Oh,
asking?
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I
Oh,
mean,
really? I walk into my bathroom butt first. So I don't even see it. I don't even see the toilet. I just hope I'm sitting on it.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
No,
Hey, you gotta go when you gotta go.
Thank you.
Faith
And
gets
it
it.
comes out one side. So
Well, I'll just say, knowing that this is in Florida, I would assume the cop showed up and arrested everybody involved, or just the snake. How did that work?
I'm sure they arrested everybody. It doesn't say in the
caught the snake
article,
at least.
but
Yeah, they all got thrown in jail for sure.
Yeah, they
Yep.
are thrown out.
If I'm a cop and I show up and someone's like, "There's a snake in my toilet," I'm going to assume something nefarious happened and it was planned, right?
Well, that's the tricky part. You can't put handcuffs on a snake. what I'm saying?
Come on. Well,
Excuse me, I had a yawn there.
No, you're good. I've got a headline here, Faith and Josh, if you guys don't mind me sharing one. This says that a suspect in Florida
Oh, I'd love that.
thank you, was arrested for swallowing $770,000 worth of Tiffany earrings. First of all,
Now, Faith, you're a girl.
Yes.
uh-huh.
You may have the read on Tiffany earrings more than us.
Is that a lot?
Yeah.
770K. That's a lot.
And there's a Tiffany store in New York, so you probably
That's gotta be at least like probably like a pound worth of jewelry, I would assume.
Yep.
And I'm like, how do you swallow that much?
Well, this guy, it says, okay, this is where it gets interesting. He was posing as a representative of the Orlando Magic basketball team. He basically goes to this jewelry store saying that he's a representative for the team and that they needed some like higher end jewels for a photo shoot they were doing.
Okay.
And
did he say, "Let me taste them"?
Well, no, they take him to a back room and I imagine they put out like a velvet cloth or something, you know.
Of course.
And then they and then they put out the jewels, and this young man, he swipes them and then immediately right down the gullet.
In their presence, like with them looking.
Yeah, right. No, I think
you can't
so.
do nothing, right? To someone who, let's just say someone swallowed your $5 bill.
Right.
Like,
It's just
what are
gone.
you gonna do?
No, it's gone at that point. But it didn't work for this guy because he still got arrested, and the cop said, "Hey, just so you know, we're going to get those jewels back one way or the other," is what the cop said to him. And it's important that you tell us when you ate it so we know which end to start from. So that's how they roll in the police department in Orlando, just in case anybody was considering listening and going and pulling a jewel heist.
Yeah, good.
The cops
Solid
are
idea.
serious. What do you think
I
about
think
that
just
plan?
doing it in front of people is the problem. I think you need decoy jewels. Put those down. You swallow the other ones.
That's such a great point. Faith, how do you feel
Case
about
closed.
it?
I just know his belly hurts so bad.
Yeah.
I love
Like
it.
how?
Roxy ate insulation off of the side of the house one time.
Roxy, your pit bull?
She had a belly ache for half a day. And then
Doesn't that have fiberglass in it?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Pretty close to diamonds. So she's fine. I'm sure this guy would be fine.
Faith
I
is
think
like,
it works like a chicken's like a gizzard, so it breaks up other meals.
I see what you're saying.
If I'm reading stuff correctly.
She's a pit bull, you said?
Yeah, a big fat one.
That makes sense. Pit bulls can like outlive anything.
Yes,
True.
they can. Unfortunately, I love her, but
I love her
she's
too.
a lot.
Before moving on, Faith, you had a second headline, and I'm curious to see where it falls on the spectrum of python in the toilet and gentleman swallowing $1 million worth of diamonds. Where are we at on the second one?
Okay. Walmart man evacuated after Florida man found crawling through ceiling.
Okay. Now
Okay.
you showed up with
Okay.
the
Okay.
scary ones. Can I just take a moment and say that? Like you showed up with the spookiest headlines.
Oh yeah. No,
I
ceiling
guess you're
stuff
right.
is scary.
No, okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Continue.
I thought it was so funny because it's like they're in the walls and he was in the ceilings.
Yeah. People under the stairs. It's scary.
I know.
Mhm.
So what is it?
um,
Where's it go?
it says deputies say the man refused to come down and had to be tased, but he was found crawling through the ceilings in their local Walmart, and the Walmart
Mm.
had to be evacuated.
Okay.
Doesn't say why
That
he was
fast?
crawling through.
I would
Yeah.
assume drugs.
Drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'cause-
so, pending on a drug charge.
okay, there it is.
Angel dust. Yep.
Okay, well here's my
Textbook
thing.
angel dust.
Okay, I have two small points. One, if I'm shopping at Walmart already, and they're like, "Hey, you gotta get out. Someone's in the ceiling." I'm not leaving. That's an awful reason to leave Walmart. I've seen worse things at Walmart. Secondly, if I've made the effort to climb into the ceiling, and
Yeah.
then you tase me,
No, dude, that's like a 30-foot drop.
I'm horribly offended. Yes,
Like
that's
death sentence. You
awful.
sentence me to a death by falling because I'm just crawling around.
In a
I'm
Walmart.
an urban explorer.
Yeah, of all
and now I'm in
places.
trouble. Yeah.
Faith, what do you think about this one? Now, put yourself in their shoes. You're in Walmart. You hear someone's in the ceiling. Are you pulling your
You
phone
just
out?
hear a scattering above you, and then you look up, and there's a dude. And he's not
Yeah.
wearing Spider-Man costume, but he's in recreational clothing,
Right.
like jeans and a t-shirt.
Yeah. How do you feel about that?
I feel like I would look up, snap a quick little picture to send to my Snapchat group chat, and then I feel like that's also a really good time for you to just take your cart and go.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the
And-
distraction. I like that.
So you do you remember? Okay, I don't know if you know this show, and this is gonna be risky, but there used to be a show called Supermarket Sweep. Do you remember that show, Faith, by chance? Okay.
It's
oh,
like
Oh my
kind of
God,
ringing
yeah,
a faint bell.
If you did, we'd have some questions because
well, here's the thing. I'm 39.
It was
Josh
wild.
Josh is going on 51. But we
Yeah.
watched this
and a half, 51 and a half this June. I'm pretty
Yeah.
excited about it. We got a
Well-
big celebration planned.
Well, no. The long story short, it was a show where you would put everything into a shopping cart and you would try to shop really fast, and they would like price it out at the
They
end.
had a really small supermarket, and you didn't get to keep any of the groceries.
Yeah, it was a game show. But what Faith
Yeah,
is saying
thank you.
here
Her
is
face says it all. She's like, "Why would I even play?"
Like,
Right.
Yeah,
But Faith is saying, look, if your shopping cart's full of stuff already, and now there's an attacker in the ceiling,
Yeah.
that's prime time excuse just to get the heck out of there and take everything as like a donation. Like this is per my
Yep.
trouble, Walmart. I'm taking this home with me because there's a man in
Trauma.
your ceiling.
Or my
Right.
trauma.
Trauma
exactly.
groceries.
Compensate to me.
Thank you. Yep.
100%.
That's Wayne's lower back tattoo. Compensate to me.
You weren't supposed to tell her that, Josh. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, sorry.
Faith, we've got one more headline here, and I wanted to share it because it's brief, but it's a record. This is the first time this has ever happened in the history of the world.
Wow.
A woman was arrested for aggravated battery with a Pringles can. And now, before
Does
we
it
get
say full or empty? Can I ask?
it was full because they were at a gas station. She was shopping, and maybe she saw a man in the ceiling. We don't know. But
Okay.
she tried to leave with the Pringles can, and a gentleman went to stop her. And this is a
Oh.
quote from her, from the assailant. She says, "I whacked him real good in the eye."
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And then the cop showed up, and the cop said it was very clear by the bruising and the cuts under his eye that he had been struck
Yep.
by something. We were shocked to find out that it was a Pringles can. So,
Of course. Yeah. Well, I look, if I'm honest, I wear glasses,
yeah.
but so I could deflect the first hit at least. But it had to be the rim of the can, yeah?
Yeah, she had to have been like holding it like a football.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Well, you
Yeah.
can create some distance with the Pringles can. I mean, you could really get in there and get out if you wanted to. I think
True.
there's something to
Yeah,
that.
like a toy pedo. Well, that sounds weird. Toy pedo was a toy that you would play with in the pool.
I
It
remember
was
those.
shaped
Mm-hmm.
Shaped like a rocket. It sounds weird now.
No, Faith,
To
thank
say
you for
it.
playing along because I was planning on leaving Josh hanging on that one, and I'm glad.
No, Toy Keto, Google it or don't. You
No,
might
don't.
not
I
want
know
to.
what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're on Twitch. You know what that is. But yeah, no, you would huck it underwater and it would go like 30 to 40 feet, if you had a pool. So I assume it's the same size as a Pringles can, and you could do some damage to a bystander or a 7-Eleven clerk.
Yeah.
They got soft eyes anyways.
Well, yeah, and honestly, we want to give our guest of honor, Faith. We want to give you the opportunity here to. We have this thing in our show called the Shame Corner, and this is
Yeah.
where when we read headlines, we kind of pick somebody that we feel like should go into the shame corner, and it's just someone who's really done something mischievous, something kind of naughty. And with these headlines, we got a gentleman in the ceiling at Walmart. We got a guy with a python in his toilet.
Yeah.
A gentleman
Diamonds
that
in the stomach
swallowed
guy.
diamonds in the tummy, and then a Pringles can attacker. Who do you want to put in the shame corner, Faith, before we move on?
Honestly, the guy who ate the Tiffany diamonds, like,
Come on.
there's
Right.
better way to steal diamonds. You're just like
Yes.
causing yourself pain in the end.
Yes.
Yeah. How would you steal diamonds, Faith? Tell us. And she can't talk about it right now. Yeah, I get it. You
Yeah, I can't talk about it. I have a whole plan.
Yeah, well,
I can't let y'all in on my plan because then you will
get it.
steal my plan.
there
Yes,
you
we
go.
will.
There you
Instantly.
go. Well, I tell you what, Faith, we'll circle back to that when we get off the air, because I kind of want in. I want in on the heist.
Nice.
Maybe.
Okay. Well, hey, listen. You are known for a lot of things. You wear a lot of hats. Like you said, you are a Twitch streamer and you are a model. And more recently, you were on season 2 of Severance. How crazy is that?
Pretty crazy. It was so cool.
Yeah. Can you walk us through how you got that call? Like, what did that gig look like?
So my agents had sent me an email saying that I had an audition for a TV show, and I had never had an audition for a TV show before.
Wow.
So I was really nervous. I went into my agency. Me and one of my agents like ran the lines back and forth with each other, and then recorded it, sent it in, and then I got a call back like 2 weeks later. And just from then on had hair and makeup tests and fittings, and then they officially gave me the part after like 2 of the tests.
So when do you know what it's for?
After that first test, because when I auditioned, I didn't know what it was for. My agents didn't tell me. They just had me audition.
Really?
Cool. Yeah.
Now, what was that like, I guess, doing the audition and then you realize it's pretty extensive, like hair and makeup and the whole 9 yards?
Yeah.
Did you anticipate, I guess, having the response that you got from the fans? Because you're you're a big deal in the Severance community. Like, a lot of people love your character, myself included. Like, it's pretty wild, actually, how large it is.
Honestly, I got really nervous because I was like, okay, I know nobody has seen something like this in the show before because my character like looked really scary and freaky, but I also had like a very small part. So I was like, I don't really know if people are going to vibe with this or if like they're going to pay too much attention. But I was overwhelmed with love and everything. People were like very sweet about my part, and it was very big. It was a very big part of the story.
It's a massive part of the story. And like you said, I'm glad you brought that up about there being nothing else like that on the show, because the night we were watching it and your episode comes on, it was like an audible gasp from everybody in the room. whenever you showed up on the screen, like it's a very kind of spooky part.
Mm-hmm. You know, I
Now, I
love a
have
good
to,
jump scare.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the show. I like to wait 3 to 5 years for sizzle to wear off, just so I can make an informed decision, because I have very low emotional intelligence, so I don't know what feelings are, so I can just pick them up from around me like osmosis. So I'm really waiting for like it to wear off, and then I can make a judgment. But when I typed Severance in, it just kept talking about one of the greatest jump scares in TV history,
That's
and
you,
it was
dude.
talking about you. Yeah, and I was like, no way.
I
No,
didn't know all that.
Oh
well, it's
yeah, no, there are articles out there. There are a lot of compliments, and as people that are out there, we're not as out there as you. We are always worried about like what's the feedback going to be, and so I can imagine like your nervousness. It's like, oh gosh, how's this fan base going to react?
mm.
Yeah,
We
no, I was really nervous because I remember the day that the episode came out, I was at work and I was just sitting
Mm,
on my phone reading all the feedback. I hadn't seen it at all. I didn't see it until like 2 hours after the episode dropped and I had to hurry home from work, but I was already getting really good feedback. And like a lot of family and friends had like watched it by the time that I got home and they all said it was great. So I was really excited.
Do you feel like because so the character is called Woe, WOE. That was your character
mhm.
name in Severance. And the makeup and the hair was so extensive. What was it like the day of filming? How long did it take you to, go through hair and makeup, get into character, and then shoot that scene?
So my call time was 4:30 in the morning.
Oh
I
wow.
Oh
didn't
Lord.
get out of hair and makeup until about 11:30 noon.
Oh my
And
goodness.
yeah,
Okay.
and it was I was so sleepy that I was having
Mm.
trouble staying awake and they had like hair and makeup working on me all at the same time just so we could hurry and like get it
What? Okay,
done, but it
they're
had to
both
be
working and
perfect.
it still took that long?
Yeah,
Wow.
cuz
I think I've
like
seen the clip. Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
they use like prosthetics and like they gelled all my hair to the back of my neck, put a
Yeah.
wig cap or like a bald cap on me, and then put a wig on me, and then
Oh,
like put on like makeup on my face to make my skin wrinkle. And then there was just like a bunch of little details they added. It was very cool. It was a long process, but it was so long that I was trying not to fall asleep. So I put on American Dad to watch
Come
so I
on.
wouldn't fall
nice. Yeah.
asleep. And
Oh,
me
yeah.
and the makeup and hair crew were all like giggling and watching it while doing my hair and makeup.
Is it at some point in time? Was it like maybe on set or afterwards? Did it become kind of like surreal for you? Of like, wow, that just happened.
It was about towards the end of filming that I was like, "Whoa, wait, I'm actually like on a set filming right now." But it like
That's wild.
really didn't fully hit until 2 days before the episode dropped.
Well,
Oh,
Cuz
wow.
I
So
filmed
you
this
just
2
kinda
years ago.
right.
what? I didn't know that. Wow.
Well, when season one
Yeah.
of Severance came out, it had like a following, and I would say like a pretty devoted fan base. But
Yes.
now, statistically, it's one of the biggest shows in the world. And
Mhm,
so people are
mhm.
comparing it to
That's so
Lost.
wild.
They're
2
comparing it
years is
to,
insane.
I mean, yes. So the fan base is incredibly large. I read an article a week ago that said like it was like 15% of creators on TikTok are just making Severance content. Like it's such a
Oh
massive
my
fan base.
gosh.
Whoa.
Mhm.
And then when you look at memorable characters, like you consistently make those lists. Your character
Yeah.
of Woe makes that list. So 2 years
Oh,
later,
yeah.
it's like, hey, your phone's blowing up, and it's like, hey, your role is a pretty big deal, dude.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, Wayne described it. He's like, she's like, think Inside Out, but like the opposite. And I'm like, I know Inside Out. I saw the emotions. I cried when Bing Bong jumped off the cliff.
Right.
But
Yeah.
she's one of those, but in another type of way.
That's a
Yeah.
fair description.
That's a
Uh,
really good description if I'm being
Um,
honest.
that was Wayne's description to me
Thank
because
you,
I
Josh.
saw the still image. I was like, well, she kind of looks scary, and I don't like scary women. That's rule one of me. I don't like scary women, and then help the homeless. That's rule two. No,
He does say that all the time, Faith.
yeah, I do. My
It's his
motto.
mantra. Yeah. So, do you feel like this is something that you'll lean into as far as, Severance season 2 is coming to an end in a couple weeks. Have you had an opportunity to maybe, speak with any more of the crew, or maybe, speak with any fans of the show? Like, what's that been like for you since the episodes come out?
It's been really good. I got reconnected with like all the team that I worked with on set. I got reconnected with them through Instagram, and like the
Cool.
fan base has been overly kind to me. They have been so sweet. I was overwhelmed with love, and I still am because everybody is so nice. It's been good.
That's so cool. And so then just to kind of follow up, with your modeling career, and then you were also a streamer. How did that happen? How did you get into modeling?
I got scouted when I was
Oh,
15,
No way.
and
So
I
that
did like
really
test
happened,
shoots.
huh?
Huh?
Like people off the street. That really happens. I've only seen that in like movies where they're like, you could be a model.
Mm-hmm. I got
That's
scouted
cool.
on Instagram, but that does happen.
Ah,
That's happened to a few of my friends.
that's
But
wild.
yeah, I did like test shoots around Oklahoma. And then when I was 19, like I graduated high school in 2020. In 2021 in January, I moved to New York, and I was
Wow.
back and forth at home for a little bit, but now I'm like fully living here. And I've been here for about 4 years now.
okay.
Cool.
So
That's cool that we graduated high school the same year.
Yeah, it's so
Yeah.
great.
It's so weird. And
What a
not in
coincidence.
Oklahoma though. Yeah. But it's so actress model. And I thought I saw a picture of you with another maybe actor slash model from the movie Simple Jack. And he's an actor, Ben Stiller. Did I see that photo right?
You did.
That's
So I got
wild.
to work with him. I got to work with Ben Stiller like one-on-one the day that I filmed. He was incredible. I love
Was he?
Ben Stiller so much.
That's so cool.
Cuz the day that I filmed for Severance, first of all, they put white contacts in my eyes so I couldn't see anything except for like really bright lights. And so they had to
Okay.
like walk me onto set, sit me down, and Ben directed the entire episode. I know he did my part because he worked with me one on one. He told me like where to look, what to do. Like I was tweaking
Smart.
out. And
Yeah.
one part that like really stuck with me
Mhm.
was he told me to hiss, and I won't lie, I got a little embarrassed.
Mhm. It's not
and
natural. Yeah.
it, you know, and so he hissed with me so I'd feel more
What?
comfortable. And I was like, exactly. I was like, well, if Ben can hiss, I can hiss. Like he's a really great
Yeah.
director.
So that's
Honestly,
like 1%. How many people have hissed with Ben Stiller?
I don't
less
think
than
many have.
1%.
Just one. Just
Yeah, I would
one.
argue just
It's so
Faith,
cool.
honestly. And
Mhm.
I'll be real with you. Like, if Ben Stiller looked at me and was like, "Hiss for me," it would be a problem
Mm.
on set. I would. I mean, yeah,
Oh, I'd instantly hiss,
they'd have
dude.
to call security. Yeah, I would be all over that
Yeah.
guy. I no, so that's crazy. Wow, that you worked with Ben like one on one like that. I think that's part of the appeal of the show for me is there's a lot of dark humor, and it's so well placed, and you can kind of feel kind of Ben Stiller's writing style throughout the episodes. But I
Mm.
think a lot of people have been shocked to find out that he has such a major role in Severance because he's known as a comedian. It's Ben Stiller. Severance is a pretty
Mhm.
serious, at times heavy show. But so I guess for you going through the makeup process, it's what 6 7 hours, and then you walk onto set and you find out you're working with Ben directly. Was that intimidating?
Mm.
Yeah, I'll be honest, it was. It was so
Yeah.
intimidating, but also like I had kind of talked with him briefly on and off before filming, and I was like, "Oh, he's giving like Papa. Like
Cool.
Severance is his baby. He's going to treat his actors correct. Like he's going to treat everybody so sweetly." And
Mhm.
he treated me like a baby. He was so nice. He walked me through everything. He told me everything I needed to do. He was very patient with me. Like Ben Stiller was really that guy.
That's
Man, that's so
so
cool to hear.
cool. That's awesome. Well, so in the scene that you're in, just to get some context, and if you haven't seen season 2, spoiler alert, but
Maybe.
you are in a dream sequence essentially, with a character called Irving who sees you, and he sees you in a dream, but it's a pivotal part of the show. A lot is revealed because of this dream sequence. So not just your role, but this scene in general is a pivotal scene for the show. Um, now, because you took place in a dream sequence, we wanted to kind of tie that in. And Josh, I think, did you recently discover, Josh, your dream journal? Is that what that was? Because
Yeah, no, I did. Since I moved, um, I've been going through my old stuff, and I came across a dream journal, and I thought, who better to interpret these dreams, you know, than someone that was in a dream.
Hmm.
And luckily Wayne's here, and he has his, wisdom of being a white male from Florida.
thank you.
But I'm trying to expand the interpretation uh, to hopefully, a model actress, someone from Oklahoma now in New York.
Yeah, and can I
I
just
can
say,
get inside your head. I can read your
Yeah, I hope so.
dreams.
well, yeah, can I just say this is kind of a prophecy for Josh because when he found the dream journal, he said to me, "Hey, like I'm going to read these out loud, but not until we find a model actress from New York who's originally from Oklahoma." So
Yeah,
you showing up on the scene is like a fulfilled prophecy. Can we just say that
yeah.
for?
I had a very
Lucky
specific
day.
checklist. Yeah, lucky day for me. Uh, so I flagged a couple um, that I thought would read well. Hopefully, I can read my own writing here. Um, Dream one that I have marked, I was just a regular Josh, same height, same weight. I was a down on my luck dad, trying to impress my shared custody son. I was a male nurse, working graveyard shift on the ER when old Kark Clank, the night guard at the museum, rolled in. He had a chest full of arrows and a bad bruise from a nunchuck brand nunchuck on his thigh. Since nothing impresses teen boys like my son, like ancient arrowheads, I decided to steal one of the arrowheads off of the surgeon's table. And unfortunately, my work enemy, Jill Biden, no relation, saw it and she narked on me. So I got fired in this dream. And I only knew of one place hiring, and that was the museum who had just lost a night shift guard. So I got hired there.
Wow!
And then I woke up. So
Wow!
hopefully you can interpret that.
That's a crazy dream.
Yeah. Any
Yeah.
details that you can remember from that would be great. Wayne.
No, I was going to lean on Faith's expertise here. Now she's
Yeah.
been in the head of Irving on Severance. Faith, can you jump into Josh's head and maybe give him some kind of interpretation as to what he experienced there in that
Yeah.
dream?
It's kind of giving like a little bit of like Five Nights at Freddy's,
Okay.
but also, was there a big statue there by chance that says something like "Dum Dum One Gum Gum"?
There was something like that. Yeah. Wum wum. There was something yum yum. Something.
Mm,
Yeah, I can't. It's tough. This was back in 2010 when I graduated high school. So
okay. Now you can see it now. Faith is. It looks to be that she
yeah,
is.
contemplating. You don't
She's
want to
very.
give me the wrong interpretation because I could lose a lot.
This is a big deal.
It sounds like a lot to me like the night at the museum.
Oh
Just-
wow!
I'm not
That-
familiar, unfortunately. I don't read nonfiction. So
Now
I'll go ahead and go to my next one. I don't want to be called out here.
Well, I just want to say real fast, Josh. I was going to say that did sound familiar, and when Faith said "Night at the Museum," I felt like a peace in my spirit. So I think she
Oh.
received correctly what you were downloading for her. I think she received that.
Oh, does the guy get full of arrows
Mm.
like Dance with Wolves?
Yeah, I think you can trust her with the rest of your dreams, man.
Okay. The other one I've got marked, it looks like it happened in 2015.
Okay.
I now exist. You know how dreams happen where you're just like, oh, here I am.
Right.
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 Lights are blinding me. I'm at a tiny table with red checkered tablecloth and an unlit candelabra on it. In front of me sits a huge bowl of cooked spaghetti noodles. There's a clattering of pots and pans behind me, but I don't immediately turn because something is rubbing on my leg. I can't see it, but it's circling my leg so hard that I can almost visualize it um, front to back. It's the rigid shell of its body has a cascading and overlapping plates leading down to its butt. It oddly reminds me of steps that led down into my Uncle Beryl's den.
Mm.
And I can tell that this is an armadillo that's rubbing against me. Suddenly, a deafening voice surrounds me. Okay, back in 10, 9, 8. Let's get some applause. I look up. My vision is clearing. I'm on stage of some kind, and there's an audience in front of me, cheering, jeering. I can't tell. I feel something jab me in the back. The announcer's still counting down. 4, 3. Then I hear in my ear a woman's voice. Do you feel that in your back? It's a gun, and it's fully loaded with real bullets. Shake your head if you understand. I do, I say. Don't speak, you idiot. Just shake your head, she says. She sets another bowl of cooked spaghetti noodles in front of me. Welcome back to the Drew Barrymore Show. I'm here with Josh from FMOFM. We're about to play a fun game where he eats all this spaghetti and I ask him questions. She sits in front of me and stares me down with a stern face until I pick up my fork. I go to spin the spaghetti on the fork, but all the spaghetti spins because it's one solid mass. This spaghetti isn't fresh, and that's upsetting. And then I wake up.
Wow.
It's very detailed, which is odd for me.
Faith, how do you feel?
But
about
now,
that
how should I interpret
Was
that?
it Martha Stewart you said?
Drew Barrymore.
Drew Barrymore. It sounds like you have some unresolved beef with Drew Barrymore, first of all.
Yeah, she shouldn't have been in Charlie's Angels. She's kind of the odd man out. And I think that's what it is. You know?
There's a lot
It
of
also
weird-
sounds like you're hungry for spaghetti. Some spaghetti.
I do love spaghetti. I'm a big butter noodle fan. You can tell body type wise. I'm a big butter noodle, salt and pepper.
There's a lot of wisdom. There's a lot of wisdom there from Faith. I think, okay, looking at the dream sequence from Faith's show, and then now imagining the dream sequence that Josh just described, where Drew Barrymore.
My dream in Severance, does it fit? Like, can you take out Faith's part and put my part in?
That's a great question, Faith. What do you think?
Maybe. Maybe.
Yeah. Drew Barrymore with a gun in my back.
Drew Barrymore with a gun to your back making you eat spaghetti. It doesn't sound like a bad dream, if I'm being honest with you.
It's not a great dream.
Yeah, I will say I love watching you detail this, and I'm watching Faith, and she's taking it serious. She's really listening.
Yes.
But you can tell that you're challenging the depths of her interpretation. I mean, she's really she's struggling to give you what you need, but in a way.
So after reading that, Faith, should I adopt that kid? I'm looking at adopting a kid, and I feel like this dream is related to it. Should I adopt that kid?
Maybe, but if you adopt that kid, you can only feed him spaghetti, is what it's sounding like. Like, the kid's favorite food is going to be spaghetti. So you have to remember that.
Italian. His name is Sting, after the musician, it's odd. It throws me off.
Okay.
So I will continue. Let me send an email real quick to the adoption agency. I will adopt the Italian boy named Sting. Okay. Last dream.
One more dream.
Yeah. I appear like I do in dreams. I'm on the floor of a public library. It's weird. The lights flash above me, and I hear, "We close in 10 minutes." That's yelled from behind me. I don't want to seem weird, so I get up off the floor and I start looking at the shelved books. As I grab one and open it, it's just deli meat. There's no pages, just a single slice of deli meat. every book I grab somehow it's not a book anymore once I touch it. It's just a slice of lunch meat. I see the Stephen King book, Pet Cemetery, and I focus hard the whole time. And from when I grab it, because I know it's got pages on the shelf, and I pull it off the shelf and I open it, and it becomes a single slice of Boar's Head London broil top round roast beef. Our sponsor for the show,
Oddly
enough.
specific.
Oddly specific. I don't taste it. I want to taste it, but it's been sitting on a shelf, and I don't know meat law, meat rule.
Right.
But I do know, like at just at a glance, I'm like, that's Boar's Head London broil top round roast beef. I know
Right.
this like a mom knows her child's cry. I know this like a conductor knows his train. Sir, we close in 5 minutes. You want me to carry your stuff up front? My stuff, I think. I look down and I'm holding 2 jugs of milk, one under each armpit.
Wow.
I think probably to cool myself off. I look up at the person again, and it's no longer a person, it's a dairy cow. She says, "You were going to steal my milk, weren't you?" And I go, "No, ma'am, I was just cooling off." She says, "No, you were going to steal it." And then I woke up.
Wow. Faith.
I won't
So should
lie.
I reconnect with my family who I haven't talked to in 10 years?
No, I don't think you should. I think the cow is trying to tell you a different message.
Oh yeah.
What is it?
I think they're trying to tell you that you have to go to the spa, get a massage, come back, rethink the decision about contacting your family, and then send them a hi, but then block them on everything, cut them off again. You have to reel them in, but then push them away again.
Yes.
Oh, come on. That's so
This is
good.
how I do normal relationships, though. So I feel better about this. I'm excited to meet Sting, the Italian boy. I'm excited to cut out my family again after a tease. So I really appreciate all the help there, Faith.
This has been such a blessing.
course.
I feel like for
Anytime.
Josh specifically.
I
Getting your dreams interpreted like that. Interpreted. Yeah, that's the word
Oh,
I'm looking for.
It works both.
Faith, listen, before we head out, we want to roll the red carpet out for you. Thank you so much again for coming on our show. Thanks for playing one of the most iconic characters in television. It is just the coolest opportunity.
Wild. It's so wild.
To meet you. Dude, it's so good. I'm going to call you at Halloween this year because I'm going to go as Woe, and I'm going to call you to see how I do. I need your
Please
opinion.
do.
Oh, we can have a Woe off.
A Woe off would be fun.
Yeah, where everybody goes,
A
whoa.
whoa.
The OG.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, tell us about your streaming channel. How can people find you?
Everybody can find me on Twitch, Faith So Bad, not rad. Bad, because I'm bad at video games. But everything else, Instagram, everything is just Faith So Rad.
Come on. So cool. Faith So Rad. Faith, you are amazing. You've been such a fun conversation and a person to get to know. And thank you again for coming on. This is, I think, episode 319 with Faith Vaughn of Severance. Any last words, Faith? How you feeling?
Thank you guys so much. You guys are incredible. I've had so much fun. So
you're the best.
And
coming from you,
like,
that means a lot.
Subscribe, listen to the podcast.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yes.
Oh wow,
please.
to us. You're giving that to us. Thank you.
Faith said so. Faith So Rad. Faith Vaughn, we appreciate you, homie. Thanks for coming on.
Of course. Thank you guys.
Thank you.